happening right now is unfolding just exactly like I described to you over a year ago. And
Shalom. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahushai, Hashem, Rakar Kodash, and don't honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone, and salutations to the hopeful elect. This is brother I know Allah from GMS Chicago, and I'm just going to a quick lesson of what you see here, on the screen right now is it says emergency alert, locked and loaded. Iran attacks plan into high gear as U.S. moves assets into place. And basically, what's happening right now is that the U.S. is about to attack, do a large-scale attack on Iran, right? And before this even started getting talked about, you should watch this video, right? It's by Off Grid Desert Farming, right, by Paul and Adrian. Basically, from the beginning of this video, right, it goes into the situation of the group chat, a group chat getting linked, and they were planning to strike Iran, right? And that's exactly what these Edomites are about to do, right? They're about to strike Iran, basically, right? And it's causing major tensions, right? And what we're also seeing here right now, is also the fulfillment of prophecy as well, right? Without further ado, I'm gonna first start off with one of the precepts here. I'm gonna do Joel chapter 2, verse 20. It says, "But I will remove far from you the northern army." Speaking about America, alright? "And I will drive him into a land barren and desolate, with his face toward the east sea, and his hinder part toward the utmost sea. And his stink shall come up, and his ills shall come up, because he had done great things." Alright, noticing it says, remove far from you the northern army, speaking about America, drive him into a land barren and desolate. And they, as these major escalations start to kick off, right, as they're going into play, there will be a draft, right? There will most definitely be a draft, and a lot of people of my generation, right, Gen Z, and probably older, all right, a mass majority of them are going to be drafted into this war, right? And a lot of them are going to die. But all this is the will of Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and prophecy is being fulfilled, right? We're seeing the wars and rumors of wars, right? These escalations between these other countries, Russia, Ukraine, these trade wars that are sparking, right? And they'll get so worse, from here on out, right? And nothing's gonna bounce back at all. A lot of these people around the world, they think that things are going back to normal. But hey, we're in the time of the end, right? Nothing's going back to normal. We're at the end, which means that this is the end of Esau's rulership. So whatever happens here on out, right, is gonna look horrible, all right, for these people in the world. Ezekiel 38, and yeah, I'm starting with verse 2. Son of man, set thy face against Gog in the land of Magog, the chief prince and of Meshech and Tubal, and prophesy against him. Gog and Magog, speaking about Russia, basically. And say thus, saith the Lord power, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thy army and horses and horsemen, all of them with clothed with all sorts of armor, even great company with bucklers and shields, all of them handling swords. And then, hey, you may see that, the U.S. is, having, agreements with Russia, getting along with Russia, as what you see in the news with, Donald Trump and Putin. But hey, real soon, right, Russia is gonna turn against America, right, and Russia is gonna be one of the main countries that are going to shoot their hypersonic ballistic intercontinental ballistic missiles here in America, right? Because it's prophecy. Versus Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya with them, and all of them with the shield and helmet, Gomer and all his bands, the house of Togomar of the north quarters in his bands, and many people with thee, be thou prepared and prepare for thyself, though in all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. But yeah, the U.S. is about to strike Iran. If that happens, all right, you already know that Iran is basically, part of the BRICS nations. So of course, Russia is going to, all right, be a guard unto, its allies, right? People thought that World War III is avoidable, or not, right? It's everything that you're seeing being played out here on this earth, is all going to plan, of the Lord's will, right? The Lord is making these things happen. The Lord is controlling, the hearts of these rulerships, these rulers, right? And the scriptures will tell you that the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord. He turneth whatsoever he will, just as just as the Lord, for an example, would control a piece of clay, right? It's the same thing that he does with people like us, basically. And right now, the Lord is pouring the Spirit on his nations, to gear up for war. Matthew 16 and 3. And in the morning it will be full weather today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, ye can discern the face of the sky, but can ye not discern the signs of the times? And hey, we know that America is not going back to normal at all, right? This earth, right? Enormously, normalcy is not coming back. All right, because the hopeful men of the Lord, all right, the prophets of Yahweh Shem, Yahweh Shai are measuring the times diligently, all right, and we already know what times that we're in. All right, we can, we're able to discern the signs of the times. We know what time that we're living in. But these people in the world, all right, they are not in the truth. All right, they cannot, you know, they don't know how to discern, what times that we're living in. And just because, they see Trump is in office doesn't mean that Trump is going to fix everything. No. The Lord is bringing an end to Esau's wicked kingdom, and it's going to go down. It's going to go down real graphically. It's going to go down real horrific, and it's going to be a lot of pain and suffering coming to 2/3 of our people. All right, alongside with these heathen nations and Esau. Amos 5 and 18 will be the last one. Woe to you that desire the day of the Lord. To what end is it for you? The day of the Lord is darkness and not light. And exactly. Alright, the times that we're coming into, right, is it's gonna be complete darkness. Alright. People are gonna be rioting out here in the streets of America, slaying one another. Alright, people are gonna be, resulting into cannibalism. Alright, we're coming to real perilous times like no other before. And right now, this is just the green tree. Meanwhile, you have a lot of like crime that's sparking up. A lot of kidnapping, a lot of thievery. Right, this money system is failing. So, of course, people are stealing at an all-time high. Especially at this time. But how much more? All right, when the tree is dry, and how much more when you can't call 911, when you're not able to eat. All right, these people are about to really lose their shit when all hell breaks loose. And when all hell breaks loose, all right, these people are screwed because if they don't have Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, or you're ultimately going to be through. And hey, it's only a matter of time, before these things start to kick off into something major, right? These tariffs are about to, be implemented on April 1st, right? It's really gonna hurt these people here in America financially, right? So you're about to see a major dramatic change here in America, especially. But anyways, all this chaos that is about to come to America, right? Esau really needs it ultimately to try to complete an agenda into microchipping, almost the entire world population. But yeah, hope this lesson was edifying. I want to give all praises, honors, and glories to Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh Shai, and Shalom.